but maybe it's just my app. Let me.
Is it going now?
Not sure. It says you're live now, but I don't see anything.
Yeah, we're live.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So hopefully we're live. I'm tired. Yeah, we're live.
Okay.
Yeah, we're live. So hopefully, I guess we have to start the whole conversation over again. It's great. It's whatever because it's something we love to do. So go ahead and introduce yourself again, and kind of give us an idea of what your channel's name will be, and what your intentions are, and to grow with the team with Anthony Sweet and myself and Michael Tovar and etc. who would join this channel. But you're going to be a big part of this show. I want to let you know. So go ahead and introduce.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Well, thank you very much. So my name is William Adams. I go by Liam. Um, so I don't have very much experience on YouTube or anything like that. But me and my girlfriend will probably wind up making like a travel vlog kind of a channel, and so that might be something like Lena and Liam. Uh, but I'm super excited to be a part of the team. I think that this has a lot of potential,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even if you don't want to stick with sports and you want to go your own route, you definitely get that under your belt. That experience. You're already ahead of a lot of people in the game. So welcome to the team, and hopefully we get to get whatever you could bring to the table, and we can get to grow, and you can get a lot of subscribers as well already. Um,
absolutely. Thank you.
uh,
It's gonna be fun to talk some Rockets basketball.
yeah, and let them know how long you've been a Rockets fan.
Oh yeah, so I've been a Rockets fan since I was in eighth grade. The first game I went to was actually against the Brooklyn Nets.
Mm.
So funny, Harden got traded to the Nets.
How ironic. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Hey, I like that game though versus Cleveland the other day. Man, that was such a wonderful game. Uh, you
it
know,
was.
Brooklyn has a lot of question marks on their defense, but I could see them going to the Eastern Conference Finals. They have a lot of potential. I think they should trade Kyrie. That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
For depth and a center, but I don't know a lot of teams that are going to risk, with a player with his, another player with issues, in his own way. He's not necessarily throwing food like Kevin
mhm.
Jr., who is a new rock. I'm excited as long as he's not throwing food at nobody. I'm excited because I know John Lucas is a great leader of men, and pretty sure he's gonna put him Kevin Porter Jr. under his wing and lead him the right way. I've seen Michael Beasley work with him, J.R. Smith, a lot of players with a lot of question marks, but that's just something that he does, and he's not going to take it easy on Kevin Porter Jr. I don't expect him to take it easy on him. I expect him to get under his ass, light a fire under his ass, and definitely put him under the ringer. But that's what a lot of players like that need. Not necessarily a father figure, but a leader. A director.
No, absolutely. Yeah, going back to Kyrie, I agree. I think that they should trade Kyrie for just some defense because they don't really have a good defense. And I
Yeah,
think that the offense flowed better when it was just Harden and Kevin Durant. But yeah, on Kevin Porter Jr., I'm really excited to have him. I think he's the exact kind of guy you want to get when you're starting to rebuild. You
yeah,
know, super low risk, but such high potential. He's got a lot of talent. I was watching his highlights last night because I didn't know a lot about him, but he's very athletic. He can shoot, and he seems like he's a playmaker.
yeah.
So I really hope he gets around, like you said, Silas, John Lucas, and I think John Wall will be huge for him to be around. John Wall just seems like a good like leader of men, and
Yeah.
hopefully he'll be able to take Porter under his wing and really help him as a person.
You know what struck me weird though? Like I never knew John Wall had those leaderships though. I
Not
didn't.
me either.
Yeah, I didn't know that until he came to the Rockets, and that was something that showed off right off the bat. I'm not gonna say James Harden wasn't a leader because I don't know how he has a personal relationship with some of the players. I'm not gonna bash him on that part. I know he has a lot of bad traits, but John Wall is just something about him that I would go
Hmm.
I will go to bat for him, and that's just to sum it up. But yeah, you're right. Kevin Porter is a type of player you want to rebuild with. But the funny thing is, the Rockets didn't draft him, and you know the Cavs did. Well, Milwaukee actually did. And so, like you said, it's no risk. All they got to do is bring him in here and try to lead him the right way, and that's on him. So yeah, you want to build around guys like that. But like I said, if he fails, it's unfortunate. But it kind of would be like a pick not going to waste because you traded a second round pick with a second round pick, and it's so heavily protected. And
Hmm.
pretty much the Rockets traded nothing because they had to trade something to get him. They couldn't trade nothing to get Michael
Right.
Porter Jr. But they did trade a heavy protected number two pick, and I'm pretty sure the Rockets would get it back. So
Oh yeah, it's I think it's top 55 protected, so which means that they basically have to make the conference finals in order for them to not get the pick back.
we know,
And I mean, they could have sent cash for Kevin Porter Jr., but we both know how
yeah,
broke Tillman Fertitta is.
uh, pretty yeah. He always every time he gets the opportunity, I know it.
Hmm.
I worked for Tillman in one of his restaurants, Vic and Anthony's, right by Minute Maid Park, excuse me, and it was
Wow.
yeah, it's a high class restaurant. I mean, very high class. For James Harden to open up another restaurant around the area, it's kind of like a high class restaurant as well. It was kind of like weird.
Hmm.
Wanted to stick it to Tillman. I don't necessarily. I thought they ended in good terms. He went to the team that he was definitely high on and requested to go to. So that was his destination. They sent him to it. So hopefully they ended in good terms. And I had this question for you: do you think James Harden comes back to the Rockets down the road? Not now, not next year, but in year so and so, 3, 4 years from now.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me because he has what 2 years left on his deal, and he really. I know he just loved being in a Rocket.
Yeah,
And I think that, if the Rockets take the next 2 years to just build like a whole team, like a complete team, not necessarily like kind of like the Clippers were before they got Kawhi and Paul George, I
yeah.
definitely could see him coming back to the Rockets.
You,
And then, also give Steven Silas a little bit more time to develop as a coach because I think he's got a lot of potential.
yeah. It reminds me of LeBron going back home. But you know what happened?
Hmm.
The Cavs had a lot of young players. Kyrie Irving was young, Tristan Thompson, etc. And Deion Waiters.
Yeah.
Maybe Rockets do become that, them Cavaliers ish,
Hmm.
in that situation. But James Harden isn't LeBron James, and I'm gonna stop that there. But him coming back home will be great. He's still an all-time Rockets great. Let us know your opinions. Comment and let us know. And we got a few people watching. Let them know who you are and introduce yourself if they don't know you already.
How you want me to introduce myself again?
Yeah, I mean, we got a few people in here.
Okay.
They're probably like, "Who is this guy?" He's William Adams. He's going to be a big part of this show. He has a bright future. We already went into details. If you are joining in the show, like I said, get familiar with the face. Um, he's going to be here for the long run, and hopefully his show grows as well because we're going to support it. So yeah, the games. I'm watching the highlights, and Eric Gordon has been the most surprising player for me. Eric Gordon gets a lot of backlash. He gets a lot of backlash. I mean, I go to Bleacher Report. There's so many trade scenarios for Eric Gordon, and sometimes I get kind of mad because I'm like, hey, he's averaging 20 points, and they're always talking about his bad contract. So,
Hmm.
I mean, are you an Eric Gordon fan, or you're just like one of those guys who says, I got to trade Eric Gordon?
I'm honestly kind of indifferent towards Eric Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't really be upset if they kept him. I think they'll have to because I do think he's on a bad contract.
Yeah,
I think his contract's more about his age. Like, I don't think his salary is bad, but he's going to be making 16, 18, and I think like 20 the year after that. Um, but no, I would love to trade Eric Gordon. It just, I don't think that they'll be able to.
uh, yeah, I agree. But the thing about Eric Gordon, I think he's going to age gracefully. Like he's not really a player who needs the ball all the time. Yes, I see him with the ball a lot, and he used to dribble off his foot a lot. And that was one thing that I used to drive me nuts. I'm for real. That used to drive
Hmm.
me crazy, especially like with a big possession. I'm like, oh my god, who gave you the damn ball? But see him just becoming a spot up shooter, kind of like a Kyle Korver,
Yeah.
like that. I think he could age gracefully, and I don't necessarily see him on this team. 5 years from now, but on his last year of his contract, he could be tradable. Love
Yeah.
teams and organization love trading players for 1 year deals, rental.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think eventually he'll turn into more of a 3 and D guy rather than a lead uh, bench guard.
yeah,
So I think he's obviously has a really good 3 point shot. I think he made it pretty deep in the 3 point shooting contest a couple years ago.
yeah,
Um, but I think when you're rebuilding, you just want to get off those contracts as
yeah.
quickly as possible.
It's easier said than done, man. I don't
Hmm.
the thought process when they gave Eric Gordon that contract. I felt like it was a like kind of a push, like I don't know. I felt like they felt they're coming into a end if he left. I felt like they're trying
Hmm.
James Harden. Like okay, we'll keep Eric Gordon and we'll do whatever you want. And that was the bad thing, trying to persuade somebody, that this is still a winning organization, but obviously you see how he felt. He let it spill out of him. But I think Eric Gordon has carried himself though. Like I said, he's
Hmm.
Silas's right hand man. He's been, everything that a leader should be, and there are a lot of leaders on this team. So I think a lot of young guys will be crucial for this team going down the road. Even if Eric Gordon's traded, John Wall, whatever, there are going to be a lot of great players. Like you've seen Jashawn Tate. I mean, we got so many
Hmm.
vendors on this team, from Eric Gordon, John,
Hmm.
Jashawn Tate, Sterling Brown. Am I missing one? Nawaba. I mean, he's
Nuala.
yeah, I mean, and then Kevin Porter Jr. is a defender too. So this
He
team,
is.
bad thing though, the paint defense is horrible. So that's
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, there's always going to be a minus on the defensive end, always. I think we need a power forward. So I don't necessarily know what route we go getting a power forward. Let us know your thoughts on which player y'all would love to see come on this team with a trade. Like we talked about Eric Gordon and etc. But Julius Randle, I know his name's been thrown around a lot. So what do you think about Julius Randle's?
Personally, I don't really want to see a guy like Julius Randle. I think that he's good enough that he warrants a big contract, but I don't think he's good enough to build a championship team around. So
Okay,
I'd rather draft a guy and have like have a couple stars and then have very good young guys.
yeah, I like Jason Collins, but yeah, I do agree. Raphael,
Hmm. Yeah.
he has a lot of picks. He's gonna have to use them wisely. I don't know where those picks are gonna stand. The Rockets have a lot of leeway with those picks for 8 years down the road. So hopefully we get a player like Jason Tatum, who's a cornerstone franchise player with Boston. Like that's what I said.
Mhm.
Boston, Brooklyn could win a championship this year. I could care less because I don't think we have a Brooklyn draft pick this year. And maybe next year they'll try to compete for another title. And I don't think we have another Brooklyn pick that year as well. But down the road,
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of screwed. They don't have no young players, and I
No.
think their draft capital that came to us is going to be highly, high rated, very high. And
For sure. I mean, do you think that KD and Kyrie and Harden are going to be on the Nets in 4 years?
no, mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't either. So I think that you'll have 4 years of probably top 10 picks at least.
Yeah, they're already having issues. So it's very
Hmm.
year one of the project. Well, last year, but they were injured. They had so many issues. They did Kyrie and KD. They didn't want to go to the bubble, which they had the chance to. They're already
Right.
they're fully recovered. I don't know if you knew, and they had the opportunity to go to the bubble because Brooklyn had made it into the bubble, and they sat out.
Hmm.
They were waiting for the following year. So Do you think they would have made some noise if they would have made it to the bubble? Because Jared Allen was, and when they made it to the bubble, they were very competitive with LeVert, Jared Allen, etc. And look, Dinwiddie was healthy as well. So, do you see them as with KD and Kyrie? Did you see them making some noise? I do.
Last year, I don't think I would have because I just think that it would have taken them too much time to get their feet back under them, and I don't think they would have had enough time in the bubble to do that before they got eliminated. I mean,
I'll be honest. I felt like if you just got hot in the bubble, you could have made it. In the East.
yeah,
Because I mean, Miami had proved that like all you had to do is play hard. Oh, sorry, somebody's not. Excuse me, real fast. I'm sorry about
it's
that.
all good.
You go ahead and go with the show.
Okay, so basically, I'm just watching the game right now, and it says scores 60-51. The Rockets are leading. Something that I found surprising so far. Boogie hasn't done very good, shooting. He's 2 of 11 from the floor, but he has 10 rebounds, so I think that's pretty big. Tucker has 10 points. He's hit two threes, and then Nwaba has 8 points off the bench. That's pretty good. But yeah, I think they're doing pretty good. This is the kind of game that you get to develop in. But
Yeah, sorry about that.
it's all
My
good.
my dog's a maniac. Yeah, the game's back on. So um,
Yeah, I'm looking at Boogie Cousins. He's 2 of 12 from the field, and he's 1 of 5 from three. So offensively, not doing so good. But he's got 10 rebounds. He had 10 rebounds in the first half, I think. So I think that's pretty. If you want to win games, that's what you need is those rebounds.
yeah, no, of course. I agree because Cousin has that ability. I've seen him. He's the best rebounder on the team, hands down.
Hmm.
Oh, hey,
Yeah,
Angel. Angel has joined us. He's one of our fan favorites. Look,
awesome.
Angel's always trying to win a free prize. So maybe I'll try to do a giveaway as well today. Oh, he said,
Don't guess 10 points this time, Angel.
yeah, please don't. I think I'll have another giveaway, but I really haven't kept up with the game. So you go ahead and think, what should it be the giveaway? What's the final score of the third quarter or what?
I'd say probably final score of the game since we're already into the third quarter.
Yeah. Man, that's a hard one. That's like saying,
Yeah.
that's hard. I guess we'll have to do a giveaway down the road because maybe
Hmm.
because I just wasn't prepared to do a giveaway. But welcome to the show, Angel. I'm trying. Angel said I'm trying to win. I know he's always trying. He wants to win a jersey. So remember, once we get 100 subscribers, we're gonna have
Hmm.
a big giveaway. I'm gonna give away a jersey. Team, the winner's choice gets to pick the team. I get to pick the player and the color or whatever. And I might give away a pair of shoes. Let's just say like,
Yeah, I heard you saying that.
yeah, I might give away a pair of shoes. I'm really, I think I will. I'm gonna give away a pair of shoes too. It's gonna be a celebration, 100, and I hope it keeps going.
Oh yeah, definitely will. Been doing a pretty good job keeping up with everything. I can see that you're grinding, so I'm
Yeah,
super excited to finally get on. I know we've been trying to do this for what, like 8 or 9 days now. So
yeah, man. It's always been an obstacle to stop this.
hmm yeah.
I'm charging my phone at him. my name
So
is
I was looking. What?
my name is Adam, by the way. But
Your name is Adam? Okay,
my name is Adam. Yeah. He
cool. Yeah, I didn't know if it was Kobe or not.
nah. It was a nickname I gave myself like 5 years ago.
Nice.
But go ahead, you're gonna say something.
Yeah, so I was actually looking at the Rockets' odds of getting one of the top four picks because the our first round pick this year is top four protected, and
Hmm.
so basically right now we have a 48% chance of keeping that a top four pick.
Yeah,
So I don't think we'll be in the top four. Um, I think that we might be able to sneak into the playoffs if once John Wall comes back and if Christian Wood can come back quick. But it's really interesting to think about if the Rockets get a top four pick, what they could do with that.
yeah. I don't know, but I do say this. Yes, you're right. They can make it to the playoffs with all these defensive players.
Hmm.
perimeter defenders, they can't.
Hmm.
Now, do they not want to make the playoffs? That's the thing. Do they trade Victor Oladipo? Do they trade Tucker? I mean, that's the route that we got to figure out if they're going to go at the trade deadline. So at the trade deadline, I think both of us will have a better understanding of which route they're going to go. So as of right now, I don't know. Do you want to see them make the playoffs, or do you want a high draft pick?
Um, I think I'd probably want a high draft pick. I just as a fan, I haven't seen. I can't remember the last time they drafted somebody. Was it
Rudy,
Sam Decker in the first round, or was it?
it was Rudy Gay. He was a top lottery pick. He was number 8. This is the year Tracy went down, Yao Ming went down, etc.
Oh yeah,
They had they had traded Rudy Gay right away for Shane Battier, so we never got to see Rudy Gay play for the Rockets ever. He's in San Antonio still, so but Shane Battier was
yeah. He was that was worth the trade. I think Battier was a good player. He was a smart player. But
okay.
who was the last first round pick that we had? I think it was Sam Decker.
I want to say Sam Decker. What where was he drafted? Right, like 17th maybe.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah, and Montrezl
It was
Harrell
later.
high too. I think he was drafted.
He was a second round pick. He was early in the second round.
Okay, but the most successful uh, was Capella. I mean,
Hmm.
for the Rockets. I remember that. Capella developed into, you know, Capella when he came in, he was kind of like Christian Wood, very, scrawny. But I think he got too
Hmm.
point and it kind of hurt his game. That's just my opinion about uh, Capella. That he just, Capella he had 20 something points, like 24 points, 20 something rebounds, and like a certain amount of blocks the other night. I was like, he had like
I
nine.
didn't see that.
Yeah, he almost had a triple double with blocks.
I miss Capella. I thought he was a great player. I thought he worked so well with James Harden and Chris Paul.
I,
I miss that team from 2 3 years ago with first year with CP3 and James Harden. They were so good.
yeah, no, I
Unbelievable that we let that fall apart.
yeah, no, I agree. I was kind of sad when they traded him for. I love Rocco though. I love Rocco, but I felt like
Hmm.
you know, giving up Capella for we lost the center. I mean, if they would have replaced him with somebody who could at least rebound, that was the thing. You could trade Capella, but you're replacing him with absolutely nothing. All you did,
Hmm.
you moved PJ Tucker from the power forward position to the center position. It was kind of ridiculous.
So you know who they tried to trade for last year before they got Rocco?
Who they tried to trade for?
Uh-huh.
I don't know who was it.
Yeah, they tried to trade for Christian Wood.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were trying to trade for Christian Wood. I remember that. And then Detroit didn't want to give him up, and so they gave up. They wound up, going to Minnesota and getting Robert Covington. And I thought he was really good last year for us. He was probably our second best player because I didn't think Westbrook was that good in the playoffs.
No, I agree with you.
Uh,
His help
but
defense was what separated him from the rest of the pack.
hmm
And he
yeah,
was he was a great 3 point shooter. I remember we beat LA, and Westbrook did have a big game that game, but Rocco was the determining factor in my opinion. He hit
hmm
the nail in the dagger. He shot that three. You remember? It was such a pump fake,
yep.
and he double pumped and he got that hell. I was like, oh my god! I was excited because it was a new era at that point. No center, but I knew they weren't going to win a championship. I knew they weren't.
No, I mean it was exciting to watch. It was really unique, and it was coming off the quarantine and not having sports for probably like 3 months. It was really just fun to watch. But no, I wish that they hadn't done that. They had to completely tear apart the team to be able to do that. And I wish they hadn't traded for Russ to begin with. I was never a Russell Westbrook fan. He was always one of my least favorite players in the league. And I was able to get behind him for a year, but I'm glad he's not on the
It,
Rockets
it,
anymore.
it was hard for me to get behind him, but
Mhm.
I knew this was the final run, so I had to like support him. Hey, look, Angel's posting a lot. If you want to read some of his comments, he what's the giveaway today? He said, "God damn, I'm gonna give you a Roman noodle." Damn, boy. Uh, maybe we'll give away something to Angel finally for being such a loyal fan. I think I'll give him a giveaway. I think he lives around the area, so I think I'll give him something today. He just has to pick it up, or maybe I don't want him to know where I live. I think Angel deserved the prize today, so I'll give him something. And I'll meet you halfway, Angel. Just by me. What you think about Blake Griffin? You think it's he's taking one for the team as he's being a team player. He's developing some of these young guys, or it's downhill from here. I think he still has some in the tanks.
See, I don't think so. But once again, it's kind of like Westbrook. I was never really a Blake Griffin fan,
Mm-hmm.
so
Either.
I always thought he was kind of overrated. So I don't think he's got much left, and I think it has more to do with injuries rather than skill. Because I think he has all the talent in the world, but I don't think he'll ever be able to get through another season healthy again.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree 100% with you. I don't think it's the lack of talent. I just think those injuries, the ACL, you know, just the way players who rely on athleticism, they really just don't last too long. And it's unfortunate, but one thing I do see that he developed the 3-point shot. That's something that Westbrook hasn't.
Hmm.
Better 3-point shooter
Yeah,
than Westbrook. So he just shot a three right now. He hit it. Speaking of the devil.
yeah, he's actually a good shooter. I would have been okay with if they had traded Westbrook for him. I thought that would have been interesting, especially if they had found a way to say get like Derrick Rose in there too somehow. I
Yeah.
thought that would have been really intriguing.
Do you know the Rockets when they're speaking to Detroit in the offseason about because they did make a trade with them with the
Hmm.
Derrick Rose was one of the names thrown around with Eric Gordon. So I don't know what happened with that. I don't know where it fell through the cracks, but that was one of the trade rumors that I did hear that Ben LeBeau he's a Rockets reporter. He reported
Hmm.
a Spotify. I listened to his Spotify, and he announced that the Rockets were trying to get Derrick Rose at the time. It would have been kind of crazy to have Derrick Rose. You would have had the Hall ACL Achilles team for real.
Yeah, they have a bunch of guys who have been injured. I mean, Waba's coming off an Achilles. John Wall's coming off an Achilles. Um, Boogie obviously tore his ACL last year and is coming off an Achilles from 2, 3 years ago. So they got a lot of guys who are. I mean, if you had this team and NBA 2K15, you'd be winning the championship for sure.
Yeah, yeah, 2005, in my opinion. I still like Chris Paul. Yeah, Angel's tearing up the comments. Yeah, Angel, show him a little love. Yeah, I still love Chris Paul. He's a
Hmm.
he's always gonna. It's unfortunate that he didn't make it to the finals, but some things just don't happen. There's a lot of great players that never make it to the finals. Charles is always the name that gets thrown around. Uh, who else? Charles. There's a lot. Tracy McGrady
Hmm.
made out the first round. At least Charles made it to the NBA Finals. So it's just
Yeah.
Charles' opinion. He has his opinion means a lot, and it carries a lot of weight. So when he says
Hmm.
players get offended,
Well, I like Chris Paul a lot. I thought he was probably one of the best point guards that we had in the Rockets organization ever. He was so good.
ever, yeah,
I hindsight's 2020, but I wish that we would have traded James Harden instead of Chris Paul. And I think I mentioned that in the chat a couple of days ago.
yes,
But think think about what we could have gotten for James Harden. Think about this: if you had been able to send him to say like Washington
mm-hmm.
and get Bradley Beal, can you imagine Chris
Stop,
Paul and Bradley Beal?
stop, man, stop, man. Feelings. Yeah, you're right. Because I wanted to trade James Harden. He was the reason.
Hmm.
He was the reason why we're there. He was the reason why we're in the situation that we were in.
Hmm.
He was both. You would have got Bradley Bill back in a trade.
Yeah.
I don't think you're necessarily a championship team though. With James Harden, you still have that thought you're a championship team. In my opinion, even with Chris Paul.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think you're a middle of the pack team. You would have made more trades. Angel says, I would rather get Walker. Who's Walker? Yes, exactly. Who's Walker? Kemba Walker? I like the
Mm,
franchise.
I like Kimball Walker, but I mean, I don't think that he necessarily fit with what they were trying to do.
No, I don't think so either. I think he's at the I don't know. His game went so down this year. I know
Hmm.
he was considered a great player last year, and then some reason Boston. That's the thing about Boston. If you haven't been there for like 10 years or so, they're gonna turn your back. They're gonna turn their back on you, like they did Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
They loved Isaiah Thomas though. They love that. I remember his tooth fell out in the playoffs. Oh my god, that was so crazy.
Uh, Angel's talking about having gotten Kyrie from Boston instead of so pairing him with Chris Paul. I think so. That would have been interesting. I'm not sure that would have worked. That would have been two like true point guards, but
Yeah,
it would have been interesting.
yeah. That's too many point guards. So we're back at the game.
Or
Go ahead.
we could have gotten say like before like Jason Tatum exploded. Could have gotten Jason Tatum.
That's the thing. You could have. Well, I don't necessarily. You don't know what Jason Tatum was going to be, but if you would
Hmm.
James Harden instead of Chris Paul, you could have got. You're right. You could have got a Jason Tatum. You could have got a Jalen Brown. You probably would have
Hmm.
got because this 28-9-year-old James Harden at the time or 30.
And the guy who has 3 years left on his contract and coming off probably his best season
Yeah,
ever. I think that was his year removed from his MVP season too. So
yeah,
that would have been really interesting.
yeah. I mean, I think a lot of Rockets fans would have been okay with it too. I think they would have been a little mad, but I think the better half um, would have been excited about it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and lead the
I
show.
mean, hindsight.
I'm sorry.
Okay, it's all good. I mean, hindsight's 2020, so you never know what's going to happen going forward, and the NBA is a business. So
Yeah.
Angel says no, we could have got Kyrie. I just looking looking at Kyrie now. Would you really want Kyrie, Angel? I mean, he doesn't seem like he's all in on basketball. Like you want somebody who's completely committed to playing basketball. I don't think Kyrie is.
I think that Angel is into the big names, and I'm not trying to like steer him away. Like, yeah, you probably. I don't think you would have got a lot of draft picks back, and that's the thing. That's what the Rockets have won. They won the future, not the present. They won their future. They want their future. They want to own
Hmm.
the future. So Kyrie is not worth a James Harden. Not right now. Maybe years.
Hmm.
Not at this moment. So I think the Rockets made the right moves. Even if they would have traded with Philadelphia, I we know what Simmons is. He's not a non-shooter
Yeah.
who needs great players around him, which all great players need other players around them. But I don't really see Ben Simmons becoming an MVP. Maybe a defensive player of the year, but other than that, I don't see him really. We trade Ben Simmons. Do we get the amount of draft picks that we got for James Harden? I don't think so. So I think the Rockets made the right move, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I'm not gonna lie, I've been really, really impressed with Raphael Stone. I think he's been great as our general manager, especially like not having any experience. He's done such a good job in making smart moves. I mean, I can't think of another trade where you got 8 first round picks. Like that's just incredible. And then going out and getting Christian Wood, I thought that was huge.
And you got Victor Oladipo. I
Hmm.
think that's what people kind of forget. They forget that we
Yeah,
got Oladipo. It's just because he was hurt the last few years, and I think that's the thing.
yeah.
But Vic is looking good, in my opinion. You know,
I would like to keep him.
I would too.
Yeah, I think I was looking at it. It'd be really interesting if you trade Eric Gordon and you create like 18 million in cap next year. And so the what you could make it work out to where you could go sign a guy like I don't think this would happen, but you would have the ability to sign um, Kawhi Leonard, and then you put him with Victor Oladipo, Christian Wood, and John Wall. That'd be a really interesting team. Obviously, that's never going to happen, but you would have that flexibility if you get rid of Gordon.
Yeah, Gordon just hit a shot. I think. Hey, Gordon slimmed down a lot though. He put him. you know what? I heard a story that they questioned Eric Gordon's work ethic and if he really wanted to be a part of this team in the offseason. I think that went back to Eric Gordon. He got in the best shape of his life. Can you open the doors? Okay, Bella, can you sit I'm down? Sorry about that. Sit. My dog's losing his mind.
It's all good.
I'm gonna go. Okay, just maybe sit.
No, I've never really questioned
Eric Gordon.
Eric Gordon's work ethic.
No, me either. I think he had, which he got a lot of injuries at one time. I know he had
Hmm.
a lot of knee injuries last year. Um, it just happens.
I think he needs to lose a little bit of weight
This
because
year
he doesn't seem like he doesn't seem as explosive as he has been in the past.
he just dunked on somebody. Look, you seen that? I think that's the guy that I don't necessarily know his name, but the guy that just Stewart. I think he was the player that got drafted by our draft pick. I think they used
Okay, yeah,
our pick on him, Stewart, if I'm not incorrect. Angel,
that
no.
sounds familiar. That sounds right.
Hey, Angel. So I feel I don't want to play. Let me sit down.
Man, this game's interesting. We're tied up in the late in the third quarter.
I'm gonna put this right here. Yeah, I know.
Angel said I would trade him for Damian Lillard. I don't think he would have been able to get Damian Lillard.
Nah, Portland fans would have been going crazy.
And I think Dame is going to be he's going to spend his career in Portland.
Yeah, at least if he wants to get traded, and I think they would. I think they would, honor that because just what he has given the city of Portland.
Hmm.
I don't think he
He's
would.
a really good player.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think he loves Portland.
Yeah, I think he does too. I mean, I think he's a good fit, and I think it's really interesting. I think that they have a lot of talent, but they always seem to underachieve. So I think that they might need to, get a new coach or bring in a new general manager, kind of switch some of it up. But they have almost as much talent as anybody. They should be a top four team in the West every year. I feel like.
I feel like they they underachieve in the regular season, but then sometimes they go in the first round, they overachieve.
Hmm. Yeah,
Because we
yeah,
look years back, they're in the Western Conference Finals. They're in the Western Conference Finals against the Warriors because the Rockets couldn't get the job done when KD went out. So it was a Curry on Curry. That was the highlight of the series. They say Curry versus.
yeah.
I don't know if you remember that, but
Hmm.
tell the fans on
It
that.
was fun to watch. Yeah. Angel says we need John Wall back. Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah,
I think
for
I
sure.
think that we would have gotten two more wins if we had John Wall back.
Oh, we would have beat the Suns. In my opinion, we
Yeah,
would for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think we would have won that other Spurs game. Did he play in the second Spurs game? I don't remember.
Nah, he didn't play in neither one of the games. Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah,
No.
we're missing a point guard for sure. I think
And we
this.
don't
Go ahead.
so we don't really have another point guard either. Everybody's all like basically two guards.
Yeah, that just kind of shows you. I, does it take down the value of a point guard, or does it rise the value of a point guard? Because the Rockets could play without a point guard, but they necessarily can't win. And I'm not trying to get myself all twisted, but
Mm-hmm.
John Wall worth that amount of money? I don't think so. He's
Mm-hmm.
He's not. I don't think he should be overpaying point guards because, there was a little time period where if you don't have a point guard, you're not a championship team. My opinion, if you don't have a top 10 wing, you're not a championship team. You could
Yeah.
have Miami made it to the finals with Jordan Dragic at the point guard, but Jimmy Butler was in their center. What's the center's name? I forget his name. I'm sorry.
Bam.
Yeah, Bam Adebayo. They're really in Hero and all those guys. So
Mm-hmm.
you necessarily need a point guard nowadays to win a championship. Even the Lakers, Rondo was for some reason he went God from the 3-point line against the Rockets. And I,
God, that made me so mad.
I was so mad, bro. I was like, leave him open, and I was like, no, don't leave him open. Like
I was hoping for another Rondo meltdown in the playoffs against the Rockets. You remember what he did when he was Dallas on the Dallas Mavericks? Oh, that was hilarious.
Yeah, I loved it. But I mean, as I felt kind of bad for Dirk. And their coach, I forgot his name, but they have a great coach over there too. And
In Dallas,
yeah, in Dallas, I think
Rick
it's.
Carlisle. Yeah, he's a good coach.
I felt kind of bad for them. Rondo was being very selfish, but it
Hmm.
for the character of Rondo. But he did clear his name. Something he didn't want to be on that team. I don't know why.
Yeah, it took. I think he was playing in Boston for such a long time, and he didn't really get the respect that he deserved because
Nah,
he was honestly a fourth star on that championship team with Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett and I think Paul Pierce.
yeah.
But and he was basically a walking triple double. He was before Westbrook became a walking triple double. He was the number one triple double guy in the NBA, and
Hmm.
then going to play in Sacramento after that, and then New Orleans. I thought he really saved his career.
Yeah, New Orleans in Sacramento. He got the opportunity to play with Anthony Davis and Cousins.
Hmm. Yeah, that was an interesting team. I wish that Boogie hadn't torn his Achilles that year because they were very unique. Two bigs that were as good as they both were. It was really interesting.
if if you're a fan in the West of any team like the Rockets or whatever, and you seen that trade, you were kind of scared. Like in my opinion,
Hmm.
oh my God, are you kidding me? I was really like, Cousins is going to New Orleans. I was very upset. But when I saw it,
Hmm.
I wasn't like, oh, thank God. It was just unfortunate what happened. And then when he went to the Warriors, you know, again, I was just like, wow. I don't wish
I
injuries.
was so mad.
Yeah, I just don't wish injuries on players.
Oh no way, no. I was really mad when he went to the Warriors though. That picking him up just drove me crazy because I remember um I mean the Rockets were just coming off almost making it to the finals, the game seven and missing all those 3 pointers in a row. I'm like, okay, the Rockets are gonna come back next year. They're gonna be just as good. They're gonna go compete with Golden State and then go get Boogie Cousins. And I was, are you kidding me? It almost seemed unfair.
Yeah, no, I agree. But that team didn't even win a championship, so it kind of showed you like sometimes you need solid role players
Hmm.
instead of superstars. And the Rockets, they had great players in 2017. We always talk about it, but for some reason they let so and so Trevor Ariza go, Luke Bamuta,
Hmm.
and and then they come back with I forget his name. He was a point guard, Michael Kidd Gilchrist, I think,
Oh,
or
Michael Carter Williams.
Mark Carter Williams. There you go. And they got James Ennis, and like I was really like, really, come on, man, that was. And they did get Kenneth Fareed, which he didn't even play in the playoffs. It was unfortunate. I don't really know the real story about that. Oh, sorry, I lost you there.
It's all good. I'm back.
Yeah, yeah.
There we go.
So Angel's still on here. Um, well, I think he's still on here. So Angel did win a prize. Like I said,
Awesome. What did he get?
I think he's gonna get a Jeremy Lin toy.
Nice.
Let's see. He wins a Jeremy Lin toy. So that's for you, Angel. Um, you're our first winner for actually not getting nothing right. You've just been a loyal fan for so long. So you win it by default. Just being there.
Angel's the real MVP.
Yeah, he is. So, like I said, once I get that 100 subscriber, we're gonna have a big giveaway. We're gonna give away a pair of shoes, and we're gonna give away a jersey as well.
I'm excited for that. I think he'll be there pretty quick.
What's that?
I'm excited. I think he'll be there pretty quick.
No, I think so. I'm kind of getting scared. They have the opportunity to pick the team. I'm gonna pick the shoes as well. All they gotta do is tell me the size. Like
Yeah.
probably get some Hardens or something like that. Uh, you know, but I mean
Nice. Yeah.
shoes. So yeah, I don't know how people are. You know, it's a free pair of shoes. You know, so who cares?
Oh yeah, you can't complain. If you're going to get mad about that, you should just not even enter the competition.
Yeah, yeah.
No, so I was another scenario that I want to talk to you about. I've been really curious to bring this up. So think about this. So we had to trade for Christian Wood to a sign and trade. If we had not signed Eric Gordon to that extension, we would have had the money to keep Robert Covington and sign Christian Wood. Can you would you rather have Robert Covington right now?
Yes, yes. 'Cause
Yeah,
in my opinion, you'll still have James Harden right now because,
probably.
yeah, you would still have James Harden because Robert Covington is a win now player because of his age and
Hmm.
the table. He's more than a 3 and D guy. He's
Hmm.
more than a 3 and D guy. Uh, he's a championship caliber player. He kind of reminds me of a Lamar Odom type of player. He's a Swiss Army knife type player, and Eric
Yeah.
a scorer. And he's a solid defensive player, but he's just
Oh
too
yeah.
able to do the things that Robert Covington can do. You could
He
always,
doesn't have the defense ability.
yeah, you could always find another Eric Gordon. You know, like a cheap man version, Joe Green. You know what I mean? All you need is a.
Hmm.
But yeah, I would I really wanted to see Eric Gordon get traded and keep Rocco.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
It
But I
was,
mean, he hasn't been playing very good this year. But I think that if he was alongside James Harden and he was alongside, say, Christian Wood and either John Wall or Russell Westbrook, I think he would have been putting up 12 points a game again.
yeah. No, I agree. Chris, look, DeMarcus Cousins are still out of bounds, and that's the bad.
Seriously.
Yeah, he does. You know, that was fundamentals right there, man.
That's the thing that always drives me crazy when I'm watching basketball. So I played in high school
Hmm.
and I wasn't a very good like shooter or anything like that, but I played, I like guys who play hard. I played it really hard and I played a lot of defense, but man, turnovers just drive me crazy. I hate it when guys turn the ball over.
Yeah, no, I agree with you because, um, look, you do everything you can for the team. You know, you're giving your all, and you know, there's just one of those stupid players, and I'm not calling Cousins stupid. It's just bonehead moves that he does. You know, there's always that guy though. No matter
Hmm.
if the game is going, you know, like I said, there was Eric Gordon last year bouncing the ball off his leg. You know, those are the crucial things where you say, "Damn, and really, seriously."
Yeah. Uh, I think a lot of these turnovers are just like lazy and inexcusable.
Yeah, yeah,
But
you're right.
that's one thing I always thought one of James Harden's weakness was, he'd get, 15 assists, but he'd have like 9 turnovers. He just turned the ball over way too much. He got lazy, he got fancy.
Yeah.
Play the game.
James Harden turned over the ball a lot too, but I think
Hmm.
all his points overshadowed that in his assists.
Oh yeah.
He had the ball in his hand so much, you know. It was just crazy how much James Harden had the ball. I mean, now
Hmm.
it's just crazy. It's unheard of. That's why we never won a championship. James Harden's a great player, but no player should have the ball that much. And you know, I compare him a little bit of Al Iverson because he's not Kobe, but he's
Hmm.
better than Al Iverson. You know, but you know, he's taking a lot of shots because Kobe was a better scorer. No, I can't say that. He just had that gene that you can't get. You know, that
He
clutch.
was a better competitor.
Yeah,
That's
and
what I would say about Kobe.
yeah, he will leave the floor. He will leave the floor on the floor. Like he's going to leave it all out there. But Iverson was also the same way. So it's hard to compare. I compare James Harden to George Gervin. I know he's way beyond those guys.
Hmm.
George Gervin led the league in in scoring 3 years in a row, but never won a championship. I'll clean it, man. I got it. The dog's acting bad.
Yeah, R.I.P. Kobe. That
Yeah,
was a sad day.
for real.
That was rough. I remember. So me and my girlfriend had taken a trip to San Antonio, and we came back, and I'd gotten the news that day, and it was unbelievable. Just
Yeah,
a really sad situation.
I was at work and I just wanted to go home. Like I would never.
Hmm.
I hated that job too, and I was just like, man, I want to walk out for real, like, because
Hmm.
I don't really like that, but like, it's just a sad day, man, a sad week.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
that's when 2020 started going downhill. Is when
Right?
Kobe passed away.
Yeah.
But
So
you
Rockets,
think we're gonna win?
it's hard to. If we had Christian Wood, I would say yeah, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Silas has a lot of
Pretty close.
defensive moves. I still question Silas's defense at times. I think it just comes that he's a rookie. Those are not.
Hmm.
He's going to show signs of collapses on defense.
Yeah,
Oh, Rockets are
I
by
think I don't do what.
the Rockets are by 5. I thought the Pistons were up by 5.
Oh no, yeah.
Don't want to. If Rockets get behind, they can't play. They can't play catch up. It's over.
Hmm.
By all these bad starts, they're playing catch up in the third quarter and
Hmm.
are making it a game in the fourth quarter. It's such a hard such a deep hole to dig yourself out of, and you can't play.
Yeah,
But the Rockets are going to win this game because from what I saw in the fourth quarter, they've been pretty good.
I think they're a really good fourth quarter team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've outscored them 13-4 so far in the fourth quarter, but I think that they have the shooters to be able to stay in the game, and but yeah, they can't come back. They don't have that lead dog to go bring them back.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. But I mean, maybe that will come with John Wall, and that's something
Yeah,
like we haven't got to see yet, so we don't know, and I don't even think the coach knows yet. So
yeah. What do you think about Nwaba?
I think he's a great role player. Um,
Yeah.
he he has risen his value. I tell you that much. He could get traded, but on a rebuilding team, well, I think he's a great player.
Yeah.
Now, he needs to develop a shot, and that will separate him from the pack. That's what makes the play.
Hmm.
If you can shoot the three ball, you're going to get paid. Look at Ryan Anderson. Look at the guy from Washington.
Yeah.
I forgot his name, but he's a big guy, and all he does is shoot, and that's what gets you paid.
Yeah.
Christian Wood developed a shot last year with the Pistons, and that's what separated Christian Wood from the rest of the guys.
Mhm. I feel like Christian Wood could shoot coming out of college. I remember when they signed him as an undrafted rookie free agent, 25 years ago. And I
Mm-hmm.
was excited about him coming out of UNLV
Mm-hmm.
and he played on the summer league team. I thought he could shoot pretty well, but they never really, if they had kept him, there was a bunch of guys who I feel like they should have kept. But if they had kept him, I think they would have been able to develop him a little bit faster because, he was perfect for what the Rockets wanted to do and he kind of bounced around the league.
Yeah, and that goes a lot. The Rockets develop a lot of players, but they let them leave. Like Rocco was a
Hmm.
team. They traded him for
Hmm.
pennies on the dollar. They traded. There's another one. I forget. Oh well,
Gary
Wood.
Payton the second.
Oh yeah, he's a good player. They should have stuck
He
with.
is.
They should have stuck with him a little bit longer. Now, if he doesn't develop, then hey, you could don't give up within a year.
Hmm.
Yeah, Christian Wood was a player as well. I think Hassan Whiteside, spent a little time with the Rockets. I think I might be incorrect, but I think he was with the Rockets for a little bit in their Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah. I don't remember that. Do you remember when Hassan Whiteside like exploded? Because it was a Sunday NBA Sunday game, and he had a triple double, and he had like 12 blocks.
Yeah, with Miami.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that. I was blown away because he had the physical frame of a typical solid all around center, but I also think his motor was not that good though. You know, he played a lot of help defense and he got a lot of blocks. That's something
yeah,
that Rocco shows that he plays a lot of help defense, but that's his role. That's not necessarily. I don't know what that's the role that Hassan Whiteside had. but he got paid for his blocks and rebounds. And
Hmm.
like I don't think he's a good center though.
No, I don't. I wanted us to sign him a couple of years ago, instead of when we had Dwight Howard, but I'm glad that we didn't because he kind of fell apart.
Chad said lame. Hey Chad.
I think he's saying Liam. I think he's saying my name. I think that's one of my
Oh,
old teachers.
oh, okay. Sorry about that. We still got Angel. Yeah, but it looks like the Rockets are going to run away with this one.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah,
If they didn't, that'd be pretty sad. Detroit's the worst team in the league this year.
yeah. I think they'll be contending to get Chad Cunningham. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, it's that organization has just been ran so bad. I figured the Rockets were going to get a win. Even though once Christian Wood was announced, I thought they might be a possibility that we lose. But I feel bad for Derrick Rose. Such a great player. He needs to be a backup on a contending team. LA. It doesn't matter. He just needs to be on a champion team.
yeah. I should probably just say, Chad Cryer said "old" with a question mark. My former teacher, not my old teacher.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I said lame. I read it wrong. I'm sorry about that. Hi, Chad. If you haven't subscribed, um, subscribe and support us. And my man will have his own channel too, and we'll be joining each other's channel. And we got multiple guys on this channel as well. Uh, Adam, um, Anthony Sweet will join us again, maybe in a few days. But yeah, this channel is growing, and we had a giveaway as well today. So we'll have a lot of giveaways during the season. Do you think PJ Tucker gets traded at the deadline?
I'm not sure. I was trying to come up with a trade, like using the NBA trade machine to try to come up with trades. And I would almost just rather let him walk because I think that in order to trade him, you're going to have to take on multi-year contracts, and I want to keep flexibility. And so I don't think he gets traded.
Well, I heard they offered him a contract extension, but I don't really I don't know why he hasn't signed it. And if those are rumors that I heard, I heard it's pretty much true that there was a contract, a negotiation between him and his agent and the Rockets organization, but he hasn't signed it, so I'm not sure what's going on. But I mean,
Yeah,
if they re up on him, I don't really see why they would do that.
no. Yeah, I would. Where are you getting that from? Because I haven't heard that at all. I don't think that they've offered him a contract. I think that's why he's been really frustrated.
I've seen that on Instagram. I've seen that on Instagram
Okay.
and Twitter, but so you might have to look it up and double check. So maybe you'll Google it or something. But I heard that, and it could be wrong. I could be wrong. It could be just BS. Maybe they try to like sign up for 2 years, like a one more year.
Yeah.
They trade him to a team. I mean, maybe I really don't know in that situation why they would do that.
Yeah. Who would you trade him to if you traded him?
Who would I trade him?
Yeah.
Uh, I know Minnesota was the leader, but I don't necessarily know what they're giving away. So there has to be a pick. I don't really know.
Hmm.
It has to be a solid pick, but I don't think it's this year. I think it's down the road. Maybe two second round picks, maybe.
Maybe. I think he could definitely wind up in Boston. I think that'd be a really good fit for him. And I
Oh,
think Boston has like a trade exception that they'd be able to absorb him without having to give anything up. So they could literally just send a first round pick to the Rockets and take on Tucker.
yeah, the Chargers. No, I agree with you. Boston, like any championship team that is up there, he's gonna do great on. Like it's just that's just who he is. What something that he brings to the table, a lot of players don't want to bring. They don't want to play that role, playing guarding the best offensive opposing player. It's just not something that some opposing defenders get in foul trouble, and that's just not PJ Tucker's game. He does get in foul trouble,
No.
but not like like Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. just bonehead and plays on defense.
Did you want to get Michael Porter Jr.? Because I really did not. I don't want him on the Rockets.
I don't necessarily want Michael Porter Jr., but I want a player that I could say, oh, okay, if all else fails, we still have him and we could build around him. Now,
Hmm.
Michael Porter Jr., that player, I don't know. I, I guess as a desperate, a, a Hail Mary, then yeah, he would be.
Yeah, he could not defend a car if it was not moving.
Now,
Like he plays no defense.
you could hide him. Like that's what I said. He's playing a role on a championship team that he just doesn't fit. He has to become that defensive player because everybody's either young or they know their role. And he's been pushed to that role. Now, if he came to the Rockets, he's not going to be guarding LeBron James. He might find himself switched off on LeBron James. But
Yeah.
like I said, you hide your weakest link, your best franchise player.
Yeah, I hate doing that. I like guys who can play defense.
Yeah, me too. But I do too. It would just be another James Harden situation.
Yeah. James Harden a couple of years ago, I think that people still like hit James Harden because they think he can't play defense. I think he's a great defensive player.
He plays the
I
lanes.
mean,
Go ahead.
hmm
He plays the lanes,
no,
and if you could back him down, you're gonna have a hard time because he holds his own. Like you're not gonna really back him down. Once he sets his feet and he puts you, you have your back towards the basket. You're pretty much screwed.
100%. He's so strong. I mean, he's a big guy. He's taken on centers and been able to put up quality post defense. But no, everybody hits on him for his defense, but I don't think his defense is that bad. Even when, I mean, it was in say like 2015, but I think he got a lot better.
Yeah, he had one horrible year, and
Hmm.
plays he plays a lot. He does a lot. He plays a lot of minutes. He's asked to do a lot, and and those he had collapses. They're so bad that
Hmm.
he'll be on Shaq in the full. But in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes left, he was ready to buckle down. You know,
Hmm.
maybe 3 minutes. Because I remember Lillard hit a three on him in the game two of the season. He hit a wide open three on him, and I was like, damn.
Yeah.
But I could live with the fact that that he had such a big game. He's asked to do a
Yeah.
asked to do a lot.
Yeah. I'm excited for him to be in Brooklyn so that he doesn't have to be the number one option. I hope he wins the championship because I love James Harden as a player. So,
Angel,
Angel said, "Who's going to win the football game? Who do you think's going to win?"
this weekend I must have to say, man, I'm gonna say Buffalo. I picked the Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl, but I'm gonna go Buffalo versus Green Bay. Who,
Okay.
who do you
Yeah,
think?
I think that's what I got. I got Buffalo and Green Bay.
Yeah, I just feel like Buffalo is like riding a wave right now. I don't know what it is. I just feel like their confidence is out the roof. Like they're not afraid of the Chiefs. I felt like a lot of teams
Hmm.
were afraid of the Chiefs.
They shut down Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. They got a really good defense. I actually like Leslie Frazier, their defensive coordinator. Apparently, he's one of the guys that the Texans are looking at.
Yep.
And then I just think Aaron Rodgers is on another level this year. He's been playing so pissed off after they drafted Jordan Love in
Yeah.
the first round instead of giving him a wide receiver. And so I think he's kind of been out to prove everybody wrong.
Yeah. And I think that Green Bay media they're such like they're spoiled. So they probably
Hmm.
Aaron Rodgers a lot. They piss him off a lot. Like they act like that's a losing team a lot. It's just
Yeah.
it's just the expectations, of that whole city, You know, our expectations for the Texans is let's win a division championship again. That
Right.
was Bill O'Brien's motive. His slogan. But
Yeah. I'm so glad we're Bill O'Brien's gone.
Liam's a nerd. Yeah,
I think it's my brother. Christopher's a clown. It's okay.
Hey, Angel. Yeah, Angel's a big Eagles fan, and I know they signed the Colts offensive coordinator. So good luck with that. I think they
That's an interesting pickup.
it is. I think he'll do good. I think they should have at least interviewed. Well, I think um, what's the Chiefs offensive coordinator's name? Bieniemy. So
Eric the enemy.
Eric Bieniemy. I think he turned down an interview for the Eagles, but I think he's going to be destined to come to the Texans. I just have my opinion. That's just my opinion.
I no, I agree. I think that just the way he was talking, you kind of felt like he knew something. Like in his interview a couple of days ago, felt like he kind of knew something that everybody else didn't. So I think that he's going to wind up being the head coach,
Yeah,
and I think we'll ultimately keep Deshaun Watson.
I like Leslie Frazier too, though. I think he's a great coach, and he will do a great job as well. And I think Leslie will bring a great staff. That's my opinion. I think he will bring a great staff in, and that's what really wins championships. A great coaching staff and bringing in players that want to play for that staff. That's
Hmm.
Brian didn't bring in. He hired guys that were like in D2 colleges and stuff like that. So we're no names, and that's one thing that he fucked up as doing just horrible moves. And then they made him the GM. I was what was going on. I kind of look back at Kyle McNair and just you know he's at fault for what this organization is sitting at right now.
Yeah, I am not a big fan of Cal McNair. I don't think he's very like. I'm sure he's really good at running like the business side, but he has not been good at running the football side. And I think that's shown by having Jackie Easterby and doing anything to do with having anything to do with football operations is absolutely ridiculous. Jack Easterby doesn't know anything about football. He's a preacher,
Yeah,
and
no,
that's great,
for my
but that doesn't qualify you to do football.
yeah, yeah. I hear bad things about Easterby every day. He's a two face. Sometimes you find Christian people like that, and this is not it's a bash no Christian people. This is not a political or religion channel at all. But you just hear that narrative a lot. There are a lot of big Christian people who say, "Let me pray for you," but like really they're judging you on the low low.
Hmm.
So the Rockets, it's 2 minutes left and they have a 3-point lead.
They're bringing Blake Griffin back in. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, Angel said we won a championship. That's true.
Yeah, the Philly special.
Yeah, you beat Tom Brady.
Hmm. Yeah, nobody can take that away from you. It's really interesting that they won the championship with Nick Foles instead of Carson Wentz.
Oh my God, I think Nick is a great quarterback, but I think
Hmm.
Wentz could have won the Super Bowl too. That year he was balling.
Yeah,
He was balling. He was an MVP, but a top candidate. Do you have another
yeah.
football team? Like, do you root for another team?
Not really. I mean, I try to pay attention to everybody, but this year I really like Aaron Rodgers, so I've been rooting for Green Bay.
Okay. Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers deserves a second Super Bowl under his belt, and then he'll be in that elite quarterback list of quarterbacks, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
Green got fouled. Nick Foles.
Did you play fantasy football this year?
No, I didn't. It's been a while.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
brother.
I
Oh, go ahead.
I actually played this year and I won the championship. I'm kind of bragging about that a little bit.
What did you win?
So I had a league with some of my friends, and I think there was 10 of us, and I went I think 15-1.
God damn. Hey.
Yeah. So my team was I had Russell Wilson was my quarterback. I had Dalvin Cook, and he was unbelievable the whole season. I had Jonathan Taylor for the Colts, and he was good all year. And then I had Stephon Diggs, who wound up being really good. And then who else? Oh yeah, I had Julio Jones,
Oh my God.
and then I had Mike Davis. And after Christian McCaffrey went down, he was the number one running back for Carolina. So Yeah, my team, I got really lucky. It was really loaded. Oh, and Justin Jefferson, the rookie from Minnesota.
Yeah, man, you had a great team. I can see why you went 15-1. But
Yeah, it was pretty exciting.
what did you win? What was the prize?
Oh, we actually didn't do a prize. I couldn't get anybody to get on board with that.
Oh, okay. So maybe we will do something. We could do something like that and have a prize. We have an analytic guy, Anthony Sweet. He's a big analytic guy. So hopefully we could get him to play some fantasy. So Eric Gordon just scored. Game's going down to the line, but I still think the Rockets.
Hmm. Yeah. Christopher Adams says, "Why doesn't Liam have cool sports memorabilia behind him too?"
Hey,
That's because I'm not cool enough.
nah. Sometimes it's better to be plain. I could always send you a poster. I have a big ass poster of Vince Carter from like 10, 20 years ago. So yeah,
Nice.
I'm gonna send that to you, man.
I'm gonna have to. I have some old, really old Astros posters. One that I won in a bet when the Astros won the World Series. So I'm gonna have to put that behind me.
Yeah, man, put it up. You might get some Astro haters telling you to take that
Uh, I'll
down.
take them all on. Astros are my team. That's my number one team. So I'll take anybody on who talks crap about the Astros.
I'm happy that we got Michael Brantley back for real. I felt like if we
Uh,
were Michael and Springer, I would have been devastated.
yeah, and I feel like I can live with George Springer being gone because he was a really good player, but he was so streaky. He was so inconsistent.
Yep,
And
man.
no, but Michael Brantley.
When he was on, he could hit back to back home runs. I'm gonna miss Springer,
Hmm.
but he's just not worth $150 million guaranteed, bro.
No,
I definitely like
no.
Brantley back.
Yeah, I'm excited to have him back. I think I mean, Uncle Mike's just a really good, consistent player. So I'm excited.
He's Mr. He's Mr. Clutch all the time, Mr. Automatic.
Yeah.
Uh, you know,
Hmm.
it's just what they do. Going forward, I think they do bring Correa back. I think they give him a contract extension.
Hmm.
So it's what they do with the bullpen and stuff like that. But I, even with losing Springer, the bat's still there. They're going to still be hitting a lot of runs, and uh, I still see him as a playoff, a championship caliber team.
Oh yeah.
Over the Texans and over the Rockets, I see him bringing a championship first before any of those franchises do.
I'm not sure though. I don't think they'll win this year. But everybody forgets how much talent they have. I mean, they have Alex Bregman. They have Carlos Correa was good last year. They have Jose Altuve, who he was an MVP just a couple of years ago. Everybody forgets how good Jose Altuve was. He had an off year, and then you had Michael Brantley. Kyle Tucker looked amazing.
Tucker looked.
Jordan Alvarez was hurt last year, so you didn't get to see him. He was the rookie of the year, hit 30 home runs in only like half the season. He was on pace. If he would have played the whole season, probably would have hit 60 home runs.
Yep.
And then they got a good pitching staff and then a lot of good young arms. I think they got a lot of good guys. I think that they'll be competing for a long time.
Yeah, they will be. And Dusty's a pretty good coach. Dusty is not a
Hmm.
but he's great for this organization and where this team is at, especially last year. That's kind of what like B enemy is. He's kind of like Dusty Baker in that situation. You have a lot of drama. You got players. It's a little different situation, but the media and ESPN are both shoving their hands down both organizations' throats, trying to tear them apart. So I think
Hmm.
is the right coach for the Texans, just like Dusty Baker was the right coach for the Astros.
Yeah, and I think that goes for Leslie Frazier too. I think that either Leslie Frazier or Eric Bieniemy would do a good job at calming everything down. They just are both, well, very charismatic guys, and I think that they're both really good leaders.
Yeah,
So,
I just think I think they're gonna make that be enemy move just to make Watson happy, and
mhm,
that's what you really want. Even though Frazier is a great option to have, we'll kind of find out. The loser might be
mhm.
become the coach Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. So we'll have to see, or maybe see. It determines. So the loser doesn't get hired if the winner is in the Super Bowl. So
Oh
if
yeah,
Chiefs, then
yeah,
it's the enemy. If it's Buffalo, it's Frazier.
yeah.
Oh,
Gordon just hit a free throw.
nice.
Yeah, Eric Gordon has 20 points, but he has a -4 plus or minus.
I don't watch UFC fighting. Sorry, Angel. It's not that I'm against it. It's just I feel like there's so many fighters. I just can't really keep up. I don't know how you feel. Are you a UFC guy?
Dang, Eric Blake Griffin just hit a three. We're up by one. I don't really watch UFC. I do like Conor McGregor though. He's so crazy. Just like I like watching him and seeing his personality. It's wild.
I like McGregor. I like the names that I can remember. Eric Gordon.
Hmm.
Oh, Depot. Offensive rebound. No. 3 seconds left, and it looks like they're gonna have the final shot.
Oh gosh.
UFC question mark.
But if there's ever a fight with Conor McGregor, I'm always gonna say Conor McGregor's gonna win.
Oh yeah, I love Conor McGregor. I like Brock Lesnar too.
Yeah. So a couple of years ago, it's probably 2016. The second fight between Conor McGregor and I think Nate Diaz. And then Brock Lesnar fought in that one too. Dude, that fight was unbelievable.
Yeah, I think Brock Lesnar gets a bad rap, but he's such a good guy.
Hmm.
And he put on great UFC fights too. So
He's fun to watch.
yeah, he's fun to watch. He's entertaining, and he doesn't really say much, but he performs at a high level. I
Yeah.
used to love WWF as a kid. Like I was like, you doing all the moves, beating other kids up. Not a bully, but like we'll all play around and
Hmm.
do all the moves and stuff like that
Yeah.
at the WWE. Yeah, but that was a long time ago.
The Rockets bench has been pretty good. They got 10 points or 14 from Starling Brown, 13 from Nwaba, and 10 from Ben McLemore.
Yeah, that's man. We got such a great team. If we just had another superstar,
Yeah.
well, we we don't know how good this team is. That's the thing. We don't know how good they are. We haven't seen them at full strength.
I think if Harden had bought in, I think this team would have been easily a playoff team. And he just looks so lazy out there. I think the whole problem was Harden didn't want to buy in, and I don't blame him. But it made me mad when he was like, "Oh, we don't have the talent." I think this is the most talented team he's had
So I agree with you.
since Chris Paul. But
On
it was
paper,
really frustrating. Yeah, yeah,
it was the most talented team, and it just shows. Oh, they called a foul. Oh my god,
uh, I think it's an and one.
damn.
Did we really just lose to Detroit?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, you won, brother. No, you didn't win no tickets. Yeah, you won a Jeremy Lin toy. He's trying to make that clear, like he won something. He wants to know, like it's set in stone. I done said it several times. You won something, brother. The game has, man. We can't lose the game like this on some bullshit. He traveled, right? Look, he traveled. No, he palmed the ball. I see that.
Yeah,
He palmed the
I
ball.
don't think that's a travel.
He palmed the ball though, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Wow. Imagine, imagine if Detroit loses because he palmed the ball and walked with it.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if they necessarily would call it a travel, but I know it's palming the ball is illegal in the NBA.
Hmm.
This is an and one.
Yeah.
I really want to win. I would come home from work and I would just be look. I enjoy watching these last few games, even though we lost. Like you said, James Harden attitude was making it hard for me to bring the energy to this channel, especially when we're playing the Lakers. It was just hard.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't want to see that. I'd rather trade James Harden and have these guys play hard. It
Yeah.
at least keeps me engaged.
Yeah.
And like you said, for yourself too.
Yeah. I mean, he was always my favorite player. He's so good. And, just seeing the way he kind of played this year really affected my opinion of him. Like, not as a person, but just as a player. Like, you look at guys like a Kobe Bryant. Kobe would never do that. Kobe was going to be all in 100% every single game, no matter what.
even if he thought his teammates sucked.
Hmm.
For him to do that, it probably shows that he's done it in the past. Like he's quit before. I mean, it's just my opinion and what I'm seeing. He's probably quit on the team before.
Yeah. Wow, we won. Rockets won.
Hey, hey, it was great working with you. Let them
Absolutely.
make your channel after this, and have your people subscribe. And if my people want to subscribe, of course, subscribe. He's a part of the team. Make sure y'all subscribe and show love. We appreciate you here, and let us know when you'll be on here again. I'm sure we'll have you on here.
Absolutely.
I had fun talking sports, but
For sure. For sure.
I'll message you and I'll let you go. And I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Sounds good. Yeah, it was good to talk to you.
Let them know your show's name again that you're gonna create.
I don't have one yet, but whenever I do get it going, I'll let everybody know.
Okay, man. Y'all stay tuned for his new show coming up, and we're out. Remember, like and subscribe. See you again, man. Appreciate it.